Good morning, Morning Musings by Melinda. How's everybody holding up? I am musing from my kitchen table today. This is my kitchen window that looks out to my backyard. If you've been watching some of my posts, you know that Elliot is staying with us because both of his parents are healthcare providers, and his father works at the hospital and his mother works for a mental health agency. So we are keeping him here to keep him safe, and I think that's an amazing sacrifice that parents make to let their child go somewhere in order to serve others. Last week, I talked to you about on Saturday. I guess I'm really stumbling over my words this morning because I really want to make sure that we're very clear that this will pass, that we're going to be okay. But I want to say that this is a very humbling experience. Last Saturday, I wrote a post about postponing my event. And in the beginning of the post, I wrote about that I wasn't paranoid about the virus, but I was going to do the responsible thing. And I actually had a young woman tell me that I was on my high horse, or it must have been hard to be up there or something, when I was actually writing in this post that it's about us getting together and stop doing that kind of thing to each other. I also had a young man say F you and call me the C word on that post. I also had another man give me a biblical lecture on that post. And those are the kinds of people that we have to help understand that we must move our vibration and stop with this kind of energy where we're trying to say things that are negative and, create hurt feelings. I'm seeing it all the time on Facebook. Now, I wasn't hurt by the young woman that said that. She probably just read the beginning of the post and didn't read the rest. The young man had no business saying F you to me and calling me the C word. Can you imagine that? We blocked him. And I understand that there's a lot of misunderstandings about what I do for work, and that some people who are very, very Christian have some fear about that. And by the way, if you're that person, please watch tomorrow afternoon at 4:00. I am going to be doing some live connections so that we can be together. But anyways, I wondered if you have been feeling humbled by this invisible threat that certainly is shaking up our lives. To me, it's a wake-up call about what's important. And this virus is indiscriminate in its nature. It will take a basketball player, a movie star, a politician, a head of state. It will invade our lives at will. It's not just a thinning of the herd. I have heard that term. And a boomer killer, yesterday I watched something on the news where a boomer reporter was pressing a doctor to have her say that if there was a difficult choice on who would get a ventilator, whether it was somebody in their 60s or it was a young person in their 20s, and the doctor danced around that the best that she could, and he kept pressing her. And I've got news for that gentleman on the news. I'm a boomer, and if it was between me and a young person at 22 that had their whole lives in front of them, I would say give them the ventilator. Let's get real, people. So, it's not just taking the old or the indigent or the immune compromised. This thing is taking whole families at will, and none of us are safe. It's taking Republicans, it's taking Democrats, it's taking communists, it's taking socialists, it's taking Christians, it's taking Buddhists, it's taking Muslims. It's stripping us to the core of what's common among us. And what's common among us? That we're all in the brotherhood of man. And maybe that's what it's supposed to do, because maybe we're supposed to find grace in our humility and stay humble and giving to each other and connected and praying and sending positive thoughts and energy and allowing, and not living in a world where we're prejudiced and condemning and finding fault and finding blame and finding ways that we can make it not about ourselves, and being in denial and going out and doing things that may infect other people is not appropriate. So I'm saying find that humble place inside of you. Resist the fact if you're one person that wants to say F you, you're a C word. Resist that. Don't do that. Give that to yourself. Don't judge other people. Give of yourself. Remember what's important. and allow what's important to be in the forefront here. Change the vibrational frequency so that we can hurry up and find ways and means to handle this in the right way. So I know I sound like I'm on my soapbox today in my musing. I apologize to you for that. Again, I'm talking about humility, and I'm feeling like I'm, like, blah, and I apologize because that's not what I mean. It's just, we've got to be so adamant, those of us who are understanding the spiritual ramifications of this, we've got to be adamant to help other people understand it too, and to be aware that it's love that changes everything, and we've got to start loving those people that we disagree with. We have to stop blaming this president or that person or this country or that situation, and start working together in our vibration to raise it up and help us energetically make a difference. I hope that you will join me tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. I will do the best I can to get to as many people as I can. I will not only answer spiritual questions as a life coach, as a spiritual life coach, but also I will do readings. I will scan bodies. I will do whatever you need me to do in the best way that I can. So let's come together and understand that we are humbled by this disease. It's an invisible force that we can't see that's bringing us to our knees. Let's stay on our knees with our hands in prayer, sending positive energy. Let's get out of judgment. Let's focus on what's real, and that's the brotherhood of man. Have a great day.